Okay, so the questions on the back require you to draw diagrams and to figure out what the actual exact answer is. So you're going to draw the diagram, you're going to label the related acute angle, complete the special triangle, and realize that some of your x and y values may be negative depending on what quadrant that the angle falls in. So be sure to take a look at that. Alright, so evaluate each of the following. So we, first of all, have to draw in the 150-degree angle. So, I'm doing that right now. Okay, so I know it's already there, but it's important to indicate. So, this is going to be my 150-degree angle. Now, you're going to use that to generate your related acute angle, right? So if this is 150 degrees, well, your related acute angle is going to be 30. Now, the related acute angle is going to tell you what special triangle you're using. So you need the related acute angle that has 30 degrees in it. So that would be the 30, 60, 90 triangle. So you make your right angle triangle, okay? Now, the issue next is to how to label it, okay? You know the right angles here. That means this is your hypotenuse, which means your hypotenuse, which was the original side length of your triangle. So that's going to be 2, okay? Now, you're going to have to determine where 1 and root 3 go according to how the diagram is set up. The one thing that I always tell people is that the 2 and the 1 are always making the 60-degree angle, okay? If you can remember that these two make the 60 degrees, then you should be okay, all right? So having found the hypotenuse first, okay, you're always going to put that first. Look for where the 60 degree is, and then put the 1. Then you know the root 3 has to be down here. And because it's in the second quadrant, your x value needs to be negative. So you better make sure that you have a negative root 3 there, okay? Because this is going to be your communication basically for the question. The answer is only worth 1 mark, but this is going to be worth the other 2, okay? This needs to be created. You need to get the right angle, the right related acute angle, and put these digits in the right spot. That's where the majority of your marks is, right here. So the next thing you have to look at is, okay, what were we being asked for? We need cosine of 150 degrees. So that's going to be shown to us here. So we're looking at cosine. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So negative root 3 over 2. And that's what we have here. We mark it as cosine of 150 degrees, not the 30 degrees, even though we're using the 30, 60, 90 degree angle to help us out. Okay? All right. So this one. This one asks you to find sine of 135 degrees. So, sorry, and it's a negative angle. Sorry, a little wobbly here. All right, we have our negative angle of 135. Okay, so make sure that gets put in there. And if this is negative 135, remember, our related acute angle is always the angle formed between the terminal arm and the x-axis. Doesn't matter what side of the x-axis. So our related acute angle this time is going to be 45. And that tells us that we're going to use the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So you got 45, 45, 90. The one thing with this triangle is that you know that it is a right isosceles, and if you want to use the simplest side lengths, you're using 1, 1, root 2. So these two, again, have to be the same length because there's your hypotenuse, there's your right angle, which tells you your hypotenuse is directly across from it, which is the longest side. So root 2 has to be here, and these two have to be 1 and 1. Now, in this case, I'm kind of blocking this, they both have to be negative because we're in the third quadrant and all points in the third quadrant are both negative. X and Y values are negative. So this has to be stated as a -1, and this is also a -1. So we've got your original angle, you've got your related acute, you've labeled your special triangle. Go back up to the question, you need to know the sine ratio. So again, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's -1 over √2, which is what we have here. Okay, and that's simply, again, this is worth 1 mark, this is worth 2. So if you go directly from here to here, you're losing your marks. Okay, your diagram is a necessity. You need to draw it in. Okay, and I think that's it.